All right, welcome everyone. This class is the HAMG 2305 Management and Leadership. And this is going to be a 5-week class. Okay. It is self-paced in the sense that you have the opportunity to work ahead if you would like, but there are due dates for assignments each week to make sure we stay on track. Okay. Your attendance policy for this particular class, if you do all of the assignments the previous week, then you'll get counted credit present for that week. If you don't get all of them done, but maybe you complete some of them, then that'll be counted as a tardy. If you don't do any assignments, then that will be counted as an absence. So on Monday morning, I'll talk about the assignments and when they're due. But on Monday morning, when your assignments are due, I'll go in and take a look at your previous week. If you have all the assignments done, then I'll update your attendance record. Okay. Um, the personality color and introductions is our introduction um, activity for this particular online class. Okay. So there is directions on how to complete that personality, true colors personality quiz. I'm interested to read what y'all's colors are. I won't reveal my colors just yet, but you may, after you've already taken the test and you've already looked at the information, you probably already guessed what my color is. But I will do an introduction and introduce my color as well. Please do that this week so that we can all get all of our responses and whatnot over to that as well. Um, the best way to to navigate this course is through our Canvas modules. Okay, so everything is kind of set up week 1, week 2, week 3, week 4, week 5 in the Canvas modules. There is an extra credit opportunity at the TRA. This is the Texas Restaurant Association. They do a kind of a teacher's kind of training or in-service type conference to help high school teachers teach the Pro Start curriculum. And so that's going to be in June, and you're going to want to contact Chef John Munoz to volunteer for that. Okay, I don't really know any details about what volunteerships are available. So the best way is just to email Chef Munoz, and I will include his email address. I'll include his email address in an announcement. So if you're interested in that. Any questions about the introduction before we move on? All right. So for our assignments, if you've not had me in class before, I do not like the 11:59 p.m. schedule that most Canvas classes default to, mostly because I've been a student recently. I'm a student now, um, but I don't like the 11:59 p.m. because I know that sometimes you have to stay up until 4 o'clock to work on your homework. Um, and so if it's due at 11:59 p.m., and you're up at 2 o'clock in the morning, then you're still gonna be counted late. And I can guarantee you that I am not up at 2 a.m. and 11:59 a.m. waiting to grade your papers. So if I'm not up grading your papers, I don't see why it's not why it can't be given an extra 8 hours. So the way I do my due dates is basically on Monday is our new week. And so everything from the previous week is due by 8 a.m. on that Monday morning when we start our new week. Okay. So you have until 8 a.m. to turn in all of your assignments the previous week. So we have a getting started quiz that's due this week. That is a little bit of a different, it breaks with that 8 a.m. just because I want to make sure everybody gets it done before Wednesday. So that one is due on Wednesday. Um, and really, the format for this class is going to be watching videos and then either taking a quiz and another assignment or just taking the quiz. Some weeks it's just the quiz. Um, but I do want to draw your attention to the Excel assignment that's due next week, which technically I guess would be due, let's see. If it's in week 2, then it's technically due on June 23rd. Okay. If you are not familiar with Excel, I highly recommend you start work on that assignment earlier rather than later. Okay. Um, Excel is a fantastic tool that management and leadership can use. I hope that through this example of Excel, now I did create this assignment a couple of summers ago, so there may have been some updates. So if there's something that is in the directions that maybe you aren't finding, please either consult YouTube or email me and let me know so that way I can update my directions to make them more relevant. But yeah, so that Excel assignment is going to be a great way for you to learn and going to get introduction into that. Um, and it's always a good idea to check the due dates on the course calendars for any due dates that are coming up. Okay. Any questions about the assignments?
Will we also be counted tardy if we miss our in-class dates that we have to be in class?
Alan, were you signed up for Chef Picon's class?
Yes.
Okay, so they just moved everybody into my online class, so
Okay.
you're not meeting
I
face to
wanted to
face.
make sure. Okay.
Yeah, it's
Thank you
only
so
online.
much.
Good question.
Yes, since you didn't mention it, I was wondering.
Yeah,
Okay. Okay. Thank you, sir.
you're welcome. Any other questions?
Yes, sir. On the version of your Excel, I already completed the Excel assignment. It gave me a hard time to catch up which version was in the system because I don't know if mine's ahead or yours is behind. So it gave me a lot of hard time to find. I mean, I completed it, but it took me a while to navigate how to get into. So I don't know
Okay.
if you want to update that in your site.
Okay, cool. If there's anything specific that you can think of, send me an email with bullet points so that way I can go directly to those sections. Um,
Okay.
that would be great.
It
Thank you
was
for that.
mainly the size of the graph.
Okay,
When you had to size it, that it took me a while to find in my version. Took me a
okay,
while.
cool. Awesome. Thanks. All right, any other questions about assignments in general and the format for the class? Okay. All right, so for this class, we do have a course completion exam that is written by the American Hotel Lodging Education Institute, AHLAI. That's the organization that creates your textbook. Okay. Um, does anybody in the chat, does anybody have their textbook already?
Yes.
Okay. Those of you who have your textbook, did it come with a voucher code or did it come with a red Scantron?
Mine was
Mm,
used, so I didn't get anything.
Did you get it
yes.
from our bookstore?
Yes, used as well, chef.
Mine was also used.
So was mine.
Mine was used, but it has the access code with it.
Jennifer, can you show me that, please?
Mm-hmm.
Just put it up on the screen.
Uh,
Just hold it in front of your face. Yeah. So it'll have an access code like that. If you got a used textbook, this is an issue that I have ongoing with our bookstore. We have an agreement that all of our students get a brand new book and it comes with the Scantron. So if you did not get, actually, let me take the list right now. If you did not get a new book, if you got a used book, will you please write your name in the chat so that I can specifically if it was used and it did not have an access code. Now, Crystal, I noticed in the chat that it was used and it has an access code. So I'll be interested to know if that access code is still valid. So you'll want to try to redeem that code. And if it does not, thank you, Amanda. Thank you, Ray. Jennifer and Crystal, since you all both have your Scantron or your access codes, if you'll do me a favor and follow the directions on the screen, you'll go to ahlei.org. You're probably going to need to create a new account. I would recommend using your student email address. You can use any email address you want. Okay.
Okay.
And then when you log in, you're going to redeem that voucher code. And then I need to know your email address that you use. So that way I can assign you to our class exam.
Okay.
Emilio. And now, since this is a 5-week class, I am going to make this priority 1 today. What they have done in the past is usually just purchased access codes and given them to me, and then I'll assign them to you. Okay. With this access code, Oscar, you should already have obviously you'll have your AHLEI account from the previous classes. Do you know if your textbook came with an access code or not?
So I left town before I could go get the book. I've been using the one I found online that I just
Okay,
realized that was going to be a problem with that.
gotcha. Okay, sounds good. Um, okay, we'll talk after about that. Anybody else? I have Ray, Emilio, Alan, and Amanda are the only 4 in here that I have that do not have the access code. Katra and Aiden and Joel, what are y'all?
I don't have an access code, no.
You got the book, but not an access code.
No, I don't have a book either.
Okay, you need to. Guys, I would recommend that you get the book, because that's going to help you with those chapter exams. If you don't have a book, it's going to be probably a little bit more challenging to do that.
I think mine's came new, but I have to check again.
Okay,
Mhm.
gotcha. So I need y'all to email me by tomorrow or Wednesday at the latest, on the status on your textbooks. Okay. And I think that's everybody on the call. Okay. So this certificate of completion, this exam, is going to be taken here in person. Okay. Everyone will take the final exam online. Okay. If you do not have an access code, right, or if for whatever reason you don't ever get a book, then you're not going to have an access code to take the completion exam, and that's fine. Whether you take the completion exam or not does not impact your grade. What it will do is it'll provide you a certificate of completion for management and leadership in the hospitality industry. You can absolutely add this to your resume as a cert. It's not a certification like ServSafe that needs to be renewed. It's just like a certificate of completion, but you can absolutely add it to your resume, because this is issued by the American Hotel Lodging Education Institute. For those of you who got used books, okay, I'm going to work diligently to get you access codes. Okay. Those of you who don't have a book yet, I can't I can't work diligently to get you an access code until I know that you got a book without one. Um, but uh, but yeah, so that exam will happen on campus during the last week of the semester. Okay. Um, your final exam will prepare you for that certificate of completion exam. So your final exam that you're taking online, that will prepare you for the certificate of completion exam. Okay. Um, and so I need, as soon as somebody logs in and signs up and redeems their voucher, I need you to let me know your email address. So that way I can make sure I get a current copy of the exam, so I can make sure that your final exam matches that and prepares you for the certificate exam. Okay. So for those of you who do have voucher codes, as soon as you log in and redeem it, if you will please send me an email with the email that you used as your email address for your HLEI account. Then I can look you up and assign you to our class. All right, any questions, comments, concerns about this? All right. Any questions in general?
Will this be our only Zoom class, or
It is, yes.
so from here on we just do everything at our own pace online?
Exactly. Now, I do want to
Okay.
point out, let me point out, in Canvas, in the modules, okay? So Tuesday and Wednesday, I have office hours. So Tuesday from 2 to 3 p.m. and Wednesday from 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. Okay. I will have office hours on Zoom. So you just click this and it'll connect you to basically it's the same Zoom link that I have right here for this meeting. But I will be logged in between 2 to 3 and 9 to 10 on Tuesdays and Wednesdays only. Okay. Disregard Thursdays because I won't be here on Thursdays. Okay. I also will be in my office here on campus physically from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m., both Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay. So if you need to set up in a time for me to, if you want to come in person or if you have questions about something, you can easily just log into my Zoom hours or let me view as a student so I don't confuse you. Sorry. Um, Log into my Zoom hours, or you can come in to my office during those times. Okay. Any questions about Canvas? So pretty much as you're going through here, you're going to watch the videos for each lesson and then just take the quiz and do the assignments for that week. Okay. Any questions, comments, or concerns?
Mr. Minsky, I have a question.
Yes, go ahead, please.
In regards to the quiz, is it going to be a one-time or you got multiple?
I believe I am not as generous with this quiz as I have with my other classes.
Understood.
So this one, I believe you have 2 attempts. And I'll have to go back and double check. It's been a while since I set up the questions, but I believe when I set it up, I gave you 2 minutes per question,
Yeah,
and then
it
I
was 60
added,
minutes.
and then I added 5 minutes. So if there's 10 questions, then you should have 25 minutes to take that quiz.
Okay, thank you.
And then you'll
The
have 2
orientation?
attempts. No. For the chapter quizzes.
Okay.
Yeah, for the chapter quizzes, and then you'll have 2 attempts for those, and I'll keep your highest grade. Any other questions? All right, do me a favor and hang out just for a moment. I'm going to stop the recording.